Let's discuss the album Songs by the Rotary Connection. Warning, for those of you easily triggered, this video contains serious belching.
The Rotary Connection, and I seen that the Planet Score had this great album, so I decided to pick it up. It's the Rotary Connection Songs. This was released in 1969 on the Cadet label, which I want to show you that Cadet label because it's pretty damn cool. Check that label out. Pretty cool, right? I'll try and get it without the glare. Love that, man. So yeah, released in 1969 on Cadet. I already said that, didn't I? It's like soul R&B, but it's got a little bit of a psychedelic flavor to it, probably because of the era and because this is a collection of all cover songs, and they cover a lot of bands that delved into like psychedelic rock, so there's bound to be a little bit of psychedelia in here. So, but yeah, all cover songs. But I gotta tell you, the Rotary Connection makes them their own, man. And the band is tight, and the vocals by Minnie Riperton, the legendary Minnie Riperton. Oh my God, she is otherworldly, man. There's a nice picture there with her standing right in front, man. You've got stuff won by the Rolling Stones, The Salt of the Earth. You've got Cream, The Tales of Brave Ulysses, which is one of my favorite Cream songs. You've got the band, The Weight. You've got Urethra Urethra. I meant Aretha Franklin's Respect on this. This is great, man. When Minnie Riperton decides to go for that high register, man, she could friggin' break glass. I'm telling you, man. Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey better bow down, because Minnie Riperton was the originator of that really high vocal style there, man. Yeah, this is great, man. I love this record. In fact, out of 5 peace signs, I'm gonna give this 3 peace signs on the rating scale, man. Great stuff. The Rotary Connection Songs.
Well, thank you. That introduction was from the wonderful Cosmic Brian at Cosmic Vinyl. Once you get that into your head, it's not going away. I love this guy. He's so awesome, so supportive. Thank you, Cosmic Brian. This video has been too long in the making. I've been living with this album, Songs by the Rotary Connection, and as Cosmic Brian stated, he gave it a 3 out of 5. So I knew I wasn't going to be listening to a masterpiece, but his description of the album was so intriguing that I wanted to find out more about it. So I also say that this album is a 3 out of 5. It has its moments. So Cosmic Brian gave a lot of description. I'm going to try not to be repetitive. Right, this is definitely a psychedelic soul album. And just saying that, I'm like, that sounds like a rare category in itself. I wonder how many albums can be put into that psychedelic soul category. The highlight for this album is, for me, also Minnie Riperton. That woman can sing. I am an instant Minnie Riperton fan. In fact, I am going to be checking out her solo catalog. Her voice is amazing. And I mean, I know her famous song, I'm Loving You. And she does have that part where she goes, you know, that whole thing. But it was on the radio, and so I'm just kind of used. I've heard it so many times that it's not something I really pay attention to anymore. And of course, I know her daughter is Maya Rudolph from Saturday Night Live. So that's basically all I know about Minnie Riperton. It is time to check out her catalog. So I just want to talk a little bit about Minnie Riperton's voice. She actually has a voice that is really something special. She is also known for her use of the whistle register. and she's been known as Queen of the Whistle Register. So I had to look that up, and that is called the flute register, or the flageolet register, is the highest register of the human voice. That to me is pretty interesting. So she can sing at the highest register of the human voice. Now, I am not going to play snippets of every song from the album, and that's because when the males are singing, or the male is singing in this group, I don't find it as interesting. Not bad at all. The songs are just okay, but when Minnie Riperton gets a chance to sing on a song, it just elevates the song. So first, we start off with the song Respect, which is, of course, an Otis Redding song, which was then made super famous by Aretha Franklin. When the Rotary Connection sings this song, for me, it was almost unrecognizable. I didn't realize that it was the same version until making this video, and I compared them. But let's go ahead and hear Minnie on this song. Oh, I also want to interject here that after listening to this album, like, number one, I do not like Jimi Hendrix. I do not like Eric Clapton. And I'm on the band. And I really didn't know that that's what I was getting into when I was listening to this song. I mean, Cosmic Brian said it all, but I guess I kind of ignored it. But there are 3 Cream songs on this. There's at least one Jimi Hendrix song. There's also a Rolling Stones song, and I can take them. So this whole album was kind of like stacked against me. But the interesting thing is that I ended up really enjoying this album. That brings us to song number 2, which is The Weight by the band, which is just, it's fine. It's a little bit more psychedelic. It's enjoyable, right? But Minnie doesn't sing on this one. Song 3, we've got Sunshine of Your Love, which is, of course, a Cream song. Song number 4 is I've Got My Mojo Working. And then this one was done by Muddy Waters. He wasn't the originator one, but this song was done by Muddy Waters, and the Rotary Connection actually did backup vocals for him. Number 5 is Burning of the Midnight Lamp, which is by Jimi Hendrix. And I actually really like this version of the song. So we get to number 6, which is Tales of Brave Ulysses, which Cosmic Brian mentioned as being one of his favorites. Now, the 7th song on this album is This Town, which was written by Stevie Wonder, but from my research, I guess he wrote it for the Rotary Connection. Song 8 is We're Going Wrong, also by Cream. And the 9th song is Salt of the Earth, which is a Rolling Stones song. So again, I think that the inclusion of Minnie Riperton on this album really makes the songs that she's on stand out. They're by far my favorite because it's there's a lot of really nice instrumentation, a lot of great playing on this album. It's psychedelic, so it kind of flows along. And then, for some reason, the male vocals kind of blend in with the music. But whenever Minnie Riperton sings, it's just like, it's like glass breaking. It really breaks through the surface of these songs. And when the male sings, sorry, I should have looked up their names instead of saying the male. Whenever the male singer sings, it's not bad at all. He's got a good voice. But Minnie Riperton's voice just really like cuts through and makes you take note. It's like your brain just latches onto that because it's so high. So in the end, I think that this album is really enjoyable. I don't think that it's going to be for everyone. If you if you like psychedelic music, I'm not sure if you'll like this because it's not like prog. The songs aren't long. They're basically all 3 to 4 minutes long. So there's all this like tight psychedelic playing within short bursts. And so if you're into psychedelic or like prog, you're probably used to listening to longer meandering songs, right, that are instrumentals. That's not what you're getting here, but you definitely hear that psych sound on this album. If you like soul music, well, then you might not like it just because of the prog psychedelic, right? They're not, these aren't soul pop songs, is basically what I'm trying to say. But if you don't mind mixing of genres and being a little bit more experimental, this is definitely an album for you. My final verdict is I would definitely listen to this album. I would buy it. If I found it on vinyl, I would definitely buy it, especially because I like the cover of the album. But there are definite standout tracks, and those are the ones where Minnie Riperton gets not only lead vocals, but then she gets to do her shrieking, which is, I'm not putting that down in any way, but I mean, she just, like, for example, the one track snippet that I played, I was worried that her singing, she was holding a note, and I was worried that it was going to go beyond 10 seconds because I can only include 10-second clips. I mean, that's how good her voice is. So I hope you've enjoyed this review, and thank you, Cosmic Brian, for always being such a support and for introducing my video. And I'm sorry I did not chug a beer and burp in your honor.